So here is a video about how I got power to my shed. It originally did not have power to it, so I just took a new wire from the breaker panel and put it outside, and here is the process of how that went. So here we've got the conduit with the power coming from the house over there. I also put an outlet here. That way if I want to run anything on the lawn or the barbecue out here or something, we can do that. And the conduit's just going in the trench all the way over here to the shed. Put another outlet here outside and then drilled through, and it is now coming out here into the shed. And then now it will be to take another outlet to the other side and also to a light up there, and then to two lights which will be on the outside of the shed. So now it's just to begin to fill it in. So it's been about 6 months since I filmed that video. You can see that the trench has grown back in just because I was able to put the grass back over onto the trench, and it filled in really nicely. Obviously gave it some water, and yeah, the power is all hooked up. I made a change here where I just made it a bit neater just by, there's the wire that's coming from the house into there, and I just didn't stretch it out. The barbecue's over there, so you know, we might still need an extension cord, but I wasn't really happy with how it looked running along there with the conduit piping. It just wasn't too attractive. So yeah, obviously this joint here isn't perfect, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, if we go over here and look at the shed, you can see the two outdoor lights that are there on it. And here's the conduit as it's coming in. And then if we go inside and take a look here, we have got the wires, and obviously where it came in is now filled with stuff, but was just down there. So there's an outlet in there. And then from that outlet comes across to the lights, which are outside. There you can see the light portal, and then the wires here to the switches right at the door, and another outlet there. One thing that's really cool is that because this was sort of an addition afterwards, we were able to put in a switch here that allows us not only to choose brightness of the bulbs, but also to control it via a remote that I was just able to add in to the house switches for outside. So without needing any wires, it's a wireless connection. So I'll go and show that in a bit. And then we also have the light up there in the shed, which is just wired in here to this switch. Okay, so here we are inside, and here's the switch. This is the remote. It's literally just put on with double-sided tape to the wall. All I had to do was buy a 3 light switch cover, and I actually cut the screws, so it's literally just the head and the tiniest bit of thread just so they won't fall out. I just basically pressed them in there, and this was able just to stick, like I said, with the double-sided tape right to the backsplash. So there's a little battery inside it, and like I said, this is about 6 months since this project, and so far no problems with the battery. So if we just hit it there, you see the green light showing that it's communicating, and the lights are on. If we want to dim the lights, they can go down as well to a different dimness. It's a bit tough to see on the video. And then just right off, and they will turn off. So yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with how that turned out. One thing that I didn't mention while I was in the shed was just that everything is on one 15 amp circuit. I just put a new breaker in the panel and put it to an existing wire that was coming outside, you know, was just left there for future use. And then I ran a wire to that, and the gauge of the wire was just sort of to support one circuit. So that means that the outdoor lights, the indoor lights, and both sets of outlets there, including actually the outlets on the deck and on the side of the shed, are all on one 15 amp circuit. You know, that's not a problem if you're only going to be using one tool from it. Obviously the lights are LED, so they don't really draw much. The problems sort of start when we began to build our shop out there, and, you know, realized, oh, we should have, you know, obviously put more power there if we want to be able to run, you know, multiple tools at once, say a table saw, a miter saw, and the dust collection system all at once. It's a lot of load. Even if it can handle it, it's still probably better to try to up the amperage. So that might be a project that we do in the future. So stay tuned for another video on that if that's something that we do. But for now, happy with how it went. I think we'd just be able to thread in a new wire through the existing conduit without having to dig up the trench again. So fingers crossed on that. But yeah, how it works right now, really happy with it. It's a huge upgrade from before. The shed lights are awesome when the dogs are out in the garden and it's dark. We want to see where they are. So, and you know, it just sort of finished up the shed and made it tie in really nicely. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.